Key 9.6. Yont Towing has equipment that costs 50,000 euros and that has been depreciated 22,000 euros. Okay. Record its disposal under the following assumptions. Letter A, it was scrapped as having no value. Well, when you scrap something, it's like you're throwing it away, regardless of whether it was worth some money or not. So the first thing that we need to calculate is the current book value of this equipment. Because what we have here is the accumulated depreciation. But we do not have the book value, so we have to calculate it. And that equals the original cost minus all of the depreciation that has happened up to this point, which is $22,000. That gives us a current book value of $28,000. And what does that tell us? That tells us that if we sell it for more than $28,000, we have a gain because this is what it currently worths. If we sell it for less than $28,000, we have a loss because this is the amount that it worths right now. But we scrapped it. What does that mean? We threw it away. So we definitely have a loss here. Let's record it. So your equipment has to go down because you are scrapping it. You're throwing it away. That's why it is on the credit side. Then over here at the top, you're going to have accumulated depreciation equipment. And over here, you're going to have loss on disposal of plant asset. Your original equipment was worth 50,000. Your loss, we can put it over here. You threw it away. So it's just going to be the full value, 28,000. And the whole depreciation up to this point was $22,000. Now, just a little reminder, why is this here? Why is accumulated depreciation equipment debited? Well, because somewhere in your ledger, you would have a T account for that accumulated depreciation equipment and accumulated depreciation equipment. It is actually a credit balance, which means that the increases happen here and the decreases happen here. Which means that, for example, for this equipment, every year, there was a depreciation and I would have to record that. I would record all of these numbers over here because this is where the increases happen. The increase of the depreciation, okay? But now I am scrapping it, I'm throwing away, or even if I'm selling it, I will no longer have this equipment with me anymore. So I have to get rid of this T account. Since I added on the credit side, I have to debit it in order to cancel everything that was written on the credit side. And this is why the reason why we have debit account depreciation, accumulated depreciation equipment. And the position of this account will be the same for whether you are scrapping it or selling it for the same reason. So this is why. B, it was sold for $25,000. Well, this is your book value. It was sold for less than what it was worth, so there is a loss. How much is there loss? 3,000, right? But you can write it here to show this to whoever is correcting your exercise. How do we record it? Even though you sold it for less than what it was worth, you still got some money. So cash has to go up and the equipment has to go down. Accumulated depreciation equipment, same position, right? Just like I said, regardless if it is a gain or a loss or scrapping, because you have to get rid of the account. And then over here, you have a loss. Just like we saw, the position for loss has to be debited. Don't write it like me, okay? They can actually deduct your points if you shorten the words. Just write the full name. The equipment is 50,000. The loss is 3,000. The accumulated depreciation up to that point was 22,000, right? This is the book value. And the cash, how much did you sell it for? You sold it for 25,000. So that cash has to go up. I'll tell you more about this position in a second. Let's see letter C. You sold it for $31,000. You sold it for more than what it was worth. So you have a gain. You have a gain of also 3,000. So over here, just make sure that you indicated where the 3,000 is coming from. Now the entry is pretty similar for the same reasons. The only difference is going to be the position of the gain. So, since losses are debited, gains have to be credited. Okay. The equipment was 50,000. The gain that you have is 3,000. The money that you got was 31, and the accumulated depreciation was 22. So, if you add it up, this number has to equal 53. Let's see if it does. It does indeed. Okay, now let me tell you why the positions for loss and gain look like this. Well, because loss and gain, over here, these are the T accounts. For losses on disposal of plant asset, the increases happen here and the decreases happen here. It's counterintuitive, right? Because you would think that loss, so this one would be minus, but no, this one is a plus. And gain is the opposite, so the increases happen here and the decreases happen here. So for the exercise number B, you see that we have a loss, right? We are recording a loss. So it's like we're saying this loss is going up and debit, right? You have to debit this side in order to record the increases, so that's why you debit it. But over here on gain, it's like saying the gain goes up, the gain of 3,000 goes up, and the increases are recorded on the credit side, and this is why this is credited.